What if I told you that you could find the key to gaining healthy, strong muscle after 60 for less than $2, hiding right there in your pantry? What if all the ideas you've been carrying for years about protein were wrong, and that expensive supplements, powders, or complicated diet programs actually had nothing to do with maintaining your strength, independence, and energy as you age? By the end of this, you'll discover how one simple, humble dish can completely transform your health, save you hundreds of dollars every single month, and restore the vigor, mobility, and confidence you thought were slipping away with time. We're about to dive deep into new scientific findings that are shaking up everything we once believed about nutrition and muscle health, and I'll show you exactly how to use this breakthrough to your advantage right now. Yes, I'm talking about beans. Ordinary, inexpensive, basic beans, the ones most of us overlook every day. But before you dismiss this as too good to be true, stay with me. The latest research from leading universities has revealed something astonishing. Beans can help older adults not only prevent muscle loss, but actually build and retain lean muscle mass. And they do it at a fraction of the cost of those overpriced protein powders and supplements that crowd store shelves. For millions of people over 60 who face the double challenge of rising grocery prices and the physical changes of aging, this is a game changer. It turns out that the issue was never really about the source of the protein. What truly matters is understanding how our nutritional needs evolve as we grow older and how to get the most out of the plant-based proteins nature has provided for us all along. The science behind this is surprisingly simple yet deeply transformative. For decades, we've been conditioned to picture animal products, steak, chicken, fish, as the ultimate symbols of strength and protein power. But the numbers tell a different story. Take soybean, for example. One cooked cup contains a remarkable 31 grams of total protein, more than a standard 4-ounce serving of chicken breast, which most people assume is the gold standard. Then we have lentils, with over 18 grams of protein per cup, earning a solid second place among plant-based powerhouses. And the list doesn't stop there. Kidney beans, black beans, chickpeas, pinto beans, each one provides around 15 grams of high-quality protein per cup. These aren't just abstract numbers on a nutrition chart. These are foods that have been within arm's reach all our lives, waiting for us to see them for what they are, nutrient-dense, muscle-supporting staples that can redefine what healthy eating looks like for older adults. Now, here's where we clear up one of the most persistent myths about plant protein, the idea that it's somehow inferior to animal protein. It's true that most beans are a bit lower in methionine, an essential amino acid, but they're packed with lysine, another amino acid that our bodies need for muscle repair and growth. Here's the magic. Grains like rice, oats, or barley have the exact opposite profile. They're richer in methionine but lower in lysine. When you combine beans with any whole grain, you create a complete protein with all the essential amino acids your body needs, rivaling or even surpassing the protein quality found in meat. This is a new discovery or some modern dietary trend. Cultures around the world have been practicing this perfect pairing for thousands of years. Think about the timeless combinations. Rice and beans throughout Latin America, lentils and rice in India, hummus and pita bread in the Middle East. These traditional dishes weren't accidents. They were born from centuries of understanding how to get the most nutrition from simple, affordable foods. But the benefits of beans go far beyond their protein content. For people over 60, beans are nothing short of a nutritional treasure chest. Each serving is like enjoying a tasty multivitamin. Just 1 cup of beans provides up to 15 grams of dietary fiber, crucial for maintaining a healthy gut microbiome, reducing inflammation throughout the body, and keeping digestion smooth as we age. They deliver nearly half of your daily magnesium needs, supporting muscle contraction, nerve function, and overall energy metabolism, things that naturally decline over time. Beans are also rich in B vitamins, particularly folate, which is essential for protein metabolism and the creation of new cells. As our bodies age, the efficiency of protein metabolism tends to slow, making folate even more important. Black beans alone can give you about 70% of your recommended daily intake of folate in just 1 cup. On top of all this, beans are loaded with powerful antioxidants, especially anthocyanins, which fight oxidative stress. This stress gradually damages cells and contributes to the muscle weakening that many people assume is inevitable with age. By including antioxidant-rich foods like beans in your diet, You're actively protecting your muscles and supporting your body's natural resilience. This means better energy levels, more stability and balance, and an improved ability to enjoy the activities you love, whether that's gardening, walking, or simply playing with your grandchildren. When you consider all these benefits together, it's hard to ignore the conclusion. Beans are one of the most efficient, affordable, and scientifically backed ways to support muscle health and overall vitality as we get older. They provide the protein your muscles need, the fiber your gut craves, the minerals your cells depend on, and the antioxidants that help keep aging at bay, all for less than the price of a cup of coffee. No fad diets, no expensive supplements, no complicated regimens. Just a rediscovery of a simple, wholesome food that has been nourishing people for millennia. Now, I understand what some of you may be considering. What about digestibility? It is true that the digestibility of plant proteins usually falls somewhere between 70% and 90%, whereas animal proteins tend to be digested at a higher rate, often between 95% and 99%. At first glance, this might make it seem like plant-based sources fall short. However, here is the wonderful part. With the right preparation, this difference shrinks dramatically. Simple, age-old kitchen techniques like overnight soaking, sprouting, and pressure cooking can reduce the natural substances in beans that slow down digestion by as much as 90%. By removing these so-called anti-nutrients, we allow our bodies to absorb the protein far more efficiently. When beans are properly prepared and eaten in the right amounts, they become a truly excellent substitute for animal proteins, both nourishing and cost-effective. When we talk about building and preserving muscle, there's an aspect that often doesn't get enough attention. Most doctors mention the importance of staying active and eating protein, but few explain just how significant the process of muscle loss really is as we grow older. After the age of 50, we begin to lose muscle mass at a rate of about 0.5% to 1.5% every single year. This gradual loss might not seem alarming at first, but over a decade, it can add up to a substantial decline in strength and mobility. And it's not just about looking fit or feeling strong. This age-related muscle loss, which scientists call sarcopenia, directly affects our ability to live independently. Think about it. Losing even 1 pound of muscle can make everyday activities more challenging. Carrying groceries up a flight of stairs, getting out of a chair without help, walking any significant distance, or even preventing a fall all become harder. The link between muscle loss and an increased risk of falls, disability, and even premature death is well established. Yet here's the good news. This process is not inevitable. With the right nutrition and some simple resistance training, we can not only slow down muscle loss, but actually reverse it. This is where the science gets really interesting. Researchers have discovered a phenomenon known as anabolic resistance. As we age, our muscles become less responsive to the signals that trigger muscle growth after we consume protein. To put it simply, a 30-year-old might only need about 20 grams of high-quality protein in a meal to maximize muscle building, while someone over 60 may require between 30 and 40 grams to achieve the same effect. A key player in this process is leucine, an essential amino acid that acts as a powerful switch for muscle protein synthesis. For older adults, it takes about 2 to 2.5 grams of leucine in a meal to flip that switch, compared to roughly 1 gram for younger adults. Here's where beans shine. While they may contain slightly less leucine than something like whey protein powder, research shows that this difference becomes practically insignificant when plant proteins are consumed in the right amounts. Let's look at some numbers to make this clear. If you weigh about 70 kilograms, which is approximately 154 pounds, your optimal daily protein intake for supporting muscle growth would range between 84 and 112 grams. At first, this might sound like a lot. However, if beans are a central part of your diet, reaching these numbers is completely realistic and far more affordable than relying on costly animal protein sources or supplements. Another factor that becomes increasingly important with age is the timing of protein intake. Studies reveal that in older adults, muscle protein synthesis, the process by which your body builds new muscle, peaks around 3 to 6 hours after a meal. In contrast, younger adults typically experience a peak in muscle building activity just 1 to 2 hours after eating. This longer, Slower anabolic response in older individuals pairs perfectly with the way beans are digested. They provide a steady and prolonged release of amino acids, aligning beautifully with the body's extended window for muscle growth. The exploration of plant proteins has sparked a major shift in the scientific community. In 2023, researchers carried out a comprehensive meta-analysis examining 13 separate randomized controlled trials that included over 800 participants, all over the age of 60. The findings were nothing short of remarkable. Plant protein interventions showed no measurable disadvantages in maintaining lean muscle mass compared to animal protein. In other words, when intake is sufficient, plant proteins can hold their own against animal sources for muscle preservation. What's more, when participants combined plant protein intake with regular physical activity, the results became even more impressive. Significant increases in muscle growth were observed, rivaling, and in some cases even surpassing, the gains typically associated with animal protein consumption. One particularly fascinating study followed 37 older vegans who supplemented their diets with 18 grams of mung bean protein daily for 8 weeks. These individuals weren't following any structured exercise program. They were simply going about their usual daily routines. After just 2 months, 45% of them had gained more than 1 pound of lean body mass, compared to only 7% in the control group who didn't receive the additional protein. And it gets better. Those who supplemented with plant protein also saw their grip strength improve by more than 3%, despite no significant changes in overall muscle size. This finding suggests that plant proteins might enhance muscle quality through pathways that researchers are still working to understand. Even in long-term care settings, where residents tend to be much older and less active, the evidence is compelling. In one trial, 84 individuals with an average age of 85 who consumed 30 grams of soy protein daily for 12 weeks gained over 3 pounds of lean mass and nearly 2 pounds of appendicular muscle mass. These are muscles crucial for movement and independence. The muscles in your arms and legs play a critical role, and one of the most crucial among them determines how easily you can stay active. As walking speed improves, the difference becomes clear. Muscles that are nourished and well-maintained perform better, while those that are neglected continue to deteriorate. An extensive Chinese study involving over 5,000 people produced a surprising finding that challenges a long-standing belief. It revealed that individuals who consumed the highest amount of plant protein had noticeably greater muscle mass, while there was no meaningful correlation between eating animal protein and maintaining strong muscles. This result completely questions the common assumption that animal protein is automatically superior. Not all plant proteins, however, contribute equally to muscle growth. Some are far more effective than others. Among them, soybeans stand out as the ultimate winner. With over 31 grams of protein per cooked cup, they provide the most complete plant-based amino acid profile, making them a powerhouse for building and maintaining muscle. Soybeans have also been extensively studied, with countless research papers demonstrating their ability to support muscle development. You might already know soybeans in their younger green form, commonly called edamame. These are a convenient protein-rich snack that you can easily find in the frozen section of most grocery stores. To enjoy them, just simmer for a few minutes and sprinkle with salt for a simple, satisfying protein boost. Coming in second place are lentils, which deserve their spot for good reason. Packed with over 18 grams of protein per cooked cup, lentils cook quickly, usually in just 20 to 30 minutes, and unlike larger beans, they don't need to be soaked ahead of time. For anyone who prefers soft textures, red lentils are an especially good choice. They cook even faster, breaking down into a creamy consistency that blends easily into soups, stews, or curries. Lentils' mild flavor makes them incredibly versatile, allowing you to incorporate them seamlessly into different dishes and ensuring you get your daily protein intake without much effort. In third place, we have a tie between kidney beans and black beans, both delivering around 15 grams of protein per cup. Black beans earn a slight edge because of their rich antioxidant content. Their deep, dark color comes from anthocyanins, powerful compounds known for supporting muscle repair and reducing inflammation in the body. Another great advantage of black beans is how well they hold their texture even after freezing and reheating, making them perfect for batch cooking. Kidney beans, with their robust flavor, are equally valuable and work beautifully in hearty stews, salads, and chili. Chickpeas, commonly known as garbanzo beans, deserve an honorable mention for their versatility. With roughly 14.5 grams of protein per cup, they may have a slightly lower protein content compared to other beans, but they make up for it with their wide range of uses. Chickpeas can be tossed whole into salads, blended into creamy hummus, or roasted for a crunchy snack. Because of their neutral flavor and firm texture, they're often considered the gateway bean for anyone just getting started with plant-based proteins. Split peas also deserve attention. Offering over 16 grams of protein per cup and requiring no soaking, they naturally break down into a smooth, creamy consistency when cooked. This makes them ideal for comforting protein-packed soups that are easy to prepare and enjoy. A warm bowl of split pea soup can be both nourishing and satisfying, especially when you're looking for something simple to digest that still provides plenty of protein. Now, let's talk about the economics of protein, because this is where beans shine even more. While offering comparable muscle-supporting benefits, beans are significantly more affordable than animal protein sources. For anyone trying to stay on budget, this is a game changer. Dried beans can provide 12 to 13 servings of high-quality protein for just $1 to $2 per pound. To get the same amount of protein from chicken breast, you'd easily spend between $15 and $20. That means switching to beans can free up hundreds of dollars each month for other necessities, all while keeping your protein intake steady. But the advantages of beans go far beyond just cost savings. Regularly including beans in your diet lowers what scientists refer to as C-reactive protein, a key marker of inflammation in the body. In contrast, animal proteins have been linked to raising inflammation levels. This matters because chronic inflammation directly interferes with your body's ability to build new muscle and speeds up muscle breakdown. By eating beans, you're not only promoting muscle growth, but also reducing inflammation at the same time. The cardiovascular benefits of beans further strengthen their case as a dietary staple. Consuming beans daily has been shown to lower the risk of cardiovascular disease by about 10%. In contrast, a high intake of animal protein is associated with an increased risk of heart problems. Choosing beans over meat allows you to meet your protein needs while simultaneously supporting heart health, stabilizing blood sugar, and maintaining healthy cholesterol levels. There's also the factor of environmental sustainability, which many people find inspiring. Beans require far fewer resources to produce than animal proteins. Growing beans consumes less water, uses less land, and generates a fraction of the greenhouse gas emissions. By including more beans in your diet, you're not only making a healthy choice for your body and your budget, but also for the planet. It's a small change that creates a meaningful ripple effect, proving that plant proteins like beans can deliver superior nutrition, better health outcomes, and a more sustainable future, all at a fraction of the cost. Approximately 5 times as much water and energy are needed to produce beans as to produce the same amount of animal protein. This creates an interesting connection between planetary and personal health for people who care about the environment. Digestibility is the main issue many people raise when it comes to beans, but the science behind it provides straightforward solutions. Among all cooking methods, pressure cooking is the most effective in increasing the digestibility of proteins. It works by removing natural substances that are known to cause gas, all while keeping every essential amino acid intact. Depending on the variety of beans, a good pressure cooker can turn dried beans into highly digestible protein in as little as 10 to 40 minutes. Your very first line of defense against stomach issues when eating beans is soaking them overnight. By soaking beans in water with 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda per pound of beans, you can reduce the compounds that cause gas by 75 to 90%. Once soaked, always drain and rinse the beans thoroughly before cooking, discarding the soaking water. This one simple process removes most of the substances responsible for intestinal discomfort. If you forget to soak your beans overnight, don't worry. The rapid soak method works almost as well. Boil the beans for 2 to 3 minutes. Then take them off the heat and let them sit for an hour. After that, rinse, drain, and continue cooking. For centuries, traditional societies that consume beans regularly have discovered highly effective natural digestion aids. Spices such as asafoetida, cumin, or fresh ginger, when added during cooking, greatly reduce gas production. Another simple trick is to include a strip of kombu seaweed or a bay leaf in the pot as the beans cook. These natural ingredients contain enzymes that help break down the complex carbohydrates in beans, making them gentler on the digestive system. The key to successfully incorporating beans into your diet is gradual introduction. Start with just 2 to 4 teaspoons of well-cooked beans per day and increase your intake by similar amounts each week. Within 2 to 3 weeks, your gut microbiota will adapt, and by week 8, most people experience completely normal digestion. Mung beans, split peas, and lentils are excellent starting options since they tend to produce the least amount of gas in the early stages. Beans offer much more than just protein. They are a nutritional powerhouse that supports overall muscle health thanks to the way their nutrients work together. Take magnesium, for example. Every serving of beans contains around 45 milligrams of magnesium, a mineral directly involved in muscle contraction and protein synthesis. Many people, despite consuming adequate protein, are unknowingly deficient in magnesium, which can affect muscle function. In addition, beans provide between 6 and 15 grams of fiber per cup. This fiber feeds beneficial gut bacteria, which in turn produce short-chain fatty acids. These remarkable compounds enhance insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation throughout the body, both of which are essential for building and preserving muscle protein. Recent studies on the gut-muscle axis have highlighted just how crucial gut health is for maintaining and growing muscle, and in this respect, the prebiotic properties of beans make them especially valuable. Beans are also rich in antioxidants, substances that combat oxidative stress, a key factor in the aging process of muscles. On antioxidant rankings, adzuki beans come out on top, closely followed by red kidney beans and black beans. These antioxidants do more than neutralize harmful free radicals. They also activate pathways that protect the mitochondria in your muscle cells. Since mitochondria act as the energy factories of the body and tend to deteriorate over time, keeping them healthy is vital for optimal muscle function. Another nutrient found in beans that deserves special attention is iron. While plant-based iron isn't absorbed as efficiently as the iron found in meat, pairing beans with foods high in vitamin C can significantly enhance absorption. For example, having lentil soup with tomatoes or black beans with bell peppers can boost iron uptake by up to 300%. Iron plays a critical role in transporting oxygen to your muscles, which is essential for their performance and endurance. Nutrition experts have also developed strategies to maximize the benefits of beans for muscle growth. Dr. Stuart Phillips, a renowned sports nutritionist known for his research on protein and aging, suggests spreading your protein intake evenly throughout the day instead of consuming it all in one meal. He recommends about 0.4 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per meal, roughly 30 grams per meal for someone weighing 165 pounds. This approach means incorporating beans into several meals instead of trying to get all your protein at once. Dietitians often advise using the plate method. Fill 1/4 your plate with beans or other legumes, another quarter with healthy grains like quinoa or brown rice, and the remaining half with colorful vegetables. This not only ensures a balanced intake of all the nutrients needed for muscle health, but also naturally provides complete proteins. There are even timing-based discoveries from exercise physiologists that can further enhance the effects of protein consumption from beans. When paired with a well-timed workout and evenly distributed protein intake, beans can significantly contribute to better muscle function, energy, and overall health. For long-lasting energy during resistance exercise, having a bean-based meal 2 to 3 hours beforehand can make a remarkable difference. Beans provide a steady and sustained release of energy, supporting your muscles throughout your workout. Muscle protein building is maximized when meals are consumed within 2 hours of exercise, meaning that if you time your intake correctly, you get the most benefit from what you eat. Scientists refer to this as a synergistic effect, where resistance training and an adequate intake of plant-based protein work together in a way that's more effective than either one by itself. This combination gives your muscles exactly what they need to grow stronger and recover faster, ensuring that the effort you put into your workouts translates into real, noticeable results. When eaten with attention to timing and balance, beans can help you meet your protein needs while also supporting your body with fiber, vitamins, and minerals. The key is to consume around 1.2 to 1.6 grams of beans per kilogram of your body weight each day. Instead of trying to get all your protein at once, it's better to spread your intake evenly across your meals, aiming for 25 to 35 grams at a time. Mixing beans with complementary proteins, like grains, seeds, or nuts, throughout the day ensures that your body gets a full spectrum of essential amino acids. This makes bean-based meals not just a source of energy, but a complete foundation for muscle repair and overall health. The way beans are prepared also matters, both for taste and for how easy they are on your digestive system. Pressure cooking stands out as the most efficient method. It doesn't just make beans tender. It increases digestibility and cuts cooking time by around 75%. This means you can have a batch of perfectly cooked beans in a fraction of the time it would take using traditional methods. Modern electric pressure cookers have removed the intimidation factor completely, with preset programs for different types of beans. Simply add water and beans, press a button, and let the machine do the work. For anyone with a busy schedule, this convenience can transform meal prep into something quick and manageable. Batch cooking can also change your entire routine. By cooking 2 to 3 pounds of mixed beans once a week, you create what I like to call your fast protein bank. Divide them into freezer-safe containers, and you have ready-to-go protein that can last up to 6 months without losing nutritional value. These frozen cooked beans can be added straight into soups, stews, grain bowls, or salads, saving you time and eliminating one of the biggest obstacles to eating well consistently, having something quick and healthy on hand. Once you start doing this, you'll wonder how you manage without it. Another technique worth exploring is sprouting. Sprouting beans like lentils or mung beans can increase their digestibility by about 20% and boost protein content by anywhere from 4% to 38%. The process is simple. Soak the beans overnight, then drain and rinse them twice daily for 2 to 5 days until tiny sprouts begin to form. Sprouted beans not only cook much faster, but also tend to cause fewer digestive issues. This makes them a great option for anyone who finds regular beans hard to digest. Plus, they add a fresh, slightly crunchy texture to meals, which can keep your bean-based dishes exciting. For people with limited time or energy, canned beans are a great alternative. They offer convenience without sacrificing much in terms of nutrition. One tip that many people overlook: whenever possible, choose low-sodium varieties. And don't pour away the thick liquid from the can, known as aquafaba. It contains valuable proteins and can naturally thicken soups and stews, adding both nutrition and texture. While canned beans may have slightly fewer nutrients compared to home-cooked ones, their overall benefits for muscle building and energy remain significant. Sprouting, batch cooking, pressure cooking, and even using canned beans all work toward the same goal: making it easier to integrate beans into your daily life. When beans are readily available, healthy eating becomes almost effortless. Instead of worrying about what to cook, you can quickly create meals that are both satisfying and nutritionally powerful. One of the biggest misconceptions about plant proteins is that they're somehow incomplete or inferior. This simply isn't true. Every plant on Earth contains all 20 amino acids. The entire natural world runs on the same genetic code. Beans, in particular, are protein-rich and, when combined with other plant foods, provide everything your muscles need to recover and grow. By debunking this myth, more people can understand that a plant-centered diet, rich in beans and legumes, can fully support an active lifestyle, even in resistance training. Plant-based diets, especially those centered on beans, are gaining attention among athletes who report faster recovery and sustained energy. Many who make the switch find themselves performing at their best for longer periods. This growing community demonstrates that a well-planned bean-based diet supports not only muscle maintenance, but also improved overall energy and vitality. With methods like sprouting, pressure cooking, and batch preparation, incorporating beans into your life can be straightforward and deeply rewarding. It's a simple, natural, and scientifically supported way to meet your protein needs, maintain energy, and optimize your training results, all while keeping meals varied, convenient, and enjoyable. Beans offer a sustainable, health-promoting way to keep your strength and independence for decades to come, provided you prepare them properly and consume them strategically throughout the day. Expensive supplements are not necessary. Complicated meal plans are not necessary. What you truly need are beans, carefully prepared and regularly consumed. Please let me know where you're coming from today. Before we continue, feel free to ask any questions you may have and leave a comment below. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.